And we're here at Brownsburg for Game 3 of the Sneakers for Santa Shootout. And it's a David and Goliath setup here in Game 3 as 1A Liberty Christian takes on 4A Brownsburg. Alongside Pete Smith, I'm Rob Brown. This Game 3 brought to us by Galitco and Daily. We go to work for you when you can't. Log on to IndianaWorkers.com. And by UNRN KD Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy. Check out UNRNKD.com. Well, we'll get to the starting lineups on the fly here as the games are loading and reloading fairly quickly. Liberty Christian out of Anderson, Indiana, clad in the black uniforms, red numerals and lettering trimmed in gold. Brownsburg in the home whites with the purple numerals and lettering trimmed in white. And Liberty Christian wins the tap. So the Liberty starters, Tywayne Fuller handling the point out front alongside Jelani Dixon, Kendrick Martin, Jordan Harrelson, and Monte Dillard. Liberty Christian, Pete, in its opening win as the air ball goes out of bounds, Liberty Christian coming in 0-1, has only played one game. Had a game scheduled against Shortridge earlier this week that was weathered out and rescheduled. Liberty Christian only played 6 in that game, so they'll play a short bench, will the Lions.
Only because 3 of their better players don't become eligible until after the Christmas break. So yeah, we'll talk about that during the broadcast. Go ahead.
We'll talk about that as we move through. Meanwhile, Brownsburg will get 3 players eligible coming off of their second straight 6A state football championship. Harrelson unable to corral that defensive rebound. Will stay at the Brownsburg end. Brownsburg played last night. 4 of the 6 teams that we'll see in these middle 3 games, Pete, played last night, one of them Brownsburg. And the Bulldogs collected a 15-point win at Franklin Central. Woodward's shot is turned away by the Lions, and on the run, nice hustle back by Diallo.
Yeah, that's Monte Dillard on the block shot. He's a transfer for Liberty Christian from Evanston Township High School. Has a lot of state tournament experience. He played in the Final Four in the state of Illinois last year in his class. They ran a dunk play for him to start the game, and Brownsburg defended it well there as Harrelson misses the shot.
Brandon on the rebound. So the Brownsburg starters, Brandon Addison, Brandon Day, Billo Diallo, Krishan Woodward, and the big man Chris Brandon at 6'9", number 44 in the middle. Woodward's 3 is way short. And the rebound picked up off the floor and a defensive foul on the Bulldogs. Our officials, Greg Kirkham, who makes that foul call, working alongside Michael Fox and Uri Smith.
The great Mike Fox on the baseline there, getting ready to administer the ball in bounds, the former director of both the Hoosier Dome and Lucas Oil Stadium when it was built. Great to see Mike still officiating high school games.
So that foul went to Diallo. Still looking for our first points in this game number 3 of 7. Full slate of hoops today at Brownsburg. Flip shot dances off the rim, but the offensive rebound is put back up and in by Jelani Dixon.
Both teams starting in man-to-man defensively. There's a trap out and run and jump situation. Almost a turnover, but they're going to call the foul, I believe, on Fuller.
Indeed.
And Tywayne is the nephew of former Anderson great Kojak Fuller. Outstanding point guard, only a junior at 5'9", and always they were a little bit, the Fullers were always a little bit gracious on their size, more like 5'7" if you ask me, but they play 5'9", so when you can play it, you list it that way sometimes. A couple changes here for Brownsburg. Brownsburg with a pretty deep, they'll go about 8 players. Colton Ketching's in the game, I believe, down number 14. That name may sound familiar. He's on that right wing. No, he's not around that wing. He's not in here. He'll be one of the next guys in. I thought he slid in the lineup there.
Brandon Sharp is in the game. We did not expect to see Sharp. The All-State wide receiver, number 12, is in the game as Chris Brandon scores to tie the game.
Well, he's got exactly 5 practices in it, apparently.
Layup is missed, but the rebound collected and missed. Boy, Liberty Christian's gotten a couple nice looks at the bucket. Also stepping into the game was Chase Wilson, who had a thunderous dunk last night at Franklin Central. Met Chase's father before the game. Just before we came on air, Sharp cut off in the paint, nowhere to go. Well, you're talking about Ty Wayne Fuller earlier as the jumper knocked in by Brandon Addison. There are actual heights and there are program heights, Pete. There are two different versions.
Well, I talked to Coach Lentz. He's someone I've known for a long time since his high school team. He goes, we're not going to play Sharp tonight or Saturday. We're going to wait till next week. Well, he's back.
Yeah, he waited about 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
He did not play last night.
Yes.
Yes.
4-2 the score.
Sharp's dad, the assistant principal here at Brownsburg High School.
Harrelson thought about the three, fading in the paint and scores.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
He plays at Notre Dame. He's a freshman starter for Micah Shrewsbury at Notre Dame.
And the Irish looked very good in a road win last night in Fort Worth against TCU. Left side three is banked in by Chase Wilson, who just came in off the bench and knocks a three in from the left side.
Yeah, Anderson only with one game so far, Anderson Liberty Christian. They lost to their crosstown rival, Anderson High School, in a really good game, 64-59.
Knocked free from behind by Sharp off the inline.
That was Kendrick Martin on the drive. He's the leading scorer for the Lions coming into this season. Team that's they've won a couple of sectionals. They've won 3 sectionals under Norman Anderson and 2 regionals. And they're really high on this team, particularly in single A. Not a big school, is it?
Just 91 listed enrollment on the IHSA website. But you mentioned it, Pete. This program's been in the semi-state at 1A level each of the last 2 years. Driving in the lane and a travel call on Martin.
You know, I have a memorable memory, you and I waiting to do the Kokomo, the Fishers semi-state game in Newcastle, where we could barely find a parking spot. The regional game a couple years ago, and Anderson Liberty Christian High School was, oh boy, they missed an assignment there.
Yep, Diallo got behind the play, but a great hustle back by Damarian Kelly, who's just in the game, to contest that shot and collect the miss. First sub into the game for Liberty Christian impacts the contest. Deflection at the defensive end for Brownsburg. Turns into an opportunity. Addison through the paint. Fading and missing.
Both teams like an up-tempo pace, as you can see. Woo, quick one.
Dixon's three ties it up.
Get a pair of threes now, Jelani does.
Dixon with 5 of the 7.
Actually, the first one was a 2, that's right. It was just inside the line, 2-pointer.
Already our 3rd tie of the game, 5 minutes in. Right side triple is too strong. And a second defensive rebound off the bench for Kelly. Now Colton Catchings heads to the scorer's table, as does Jackson Gordon. Hard off the back of the iron. And Sharp rushes the other way. His pass inside is kicked. That'll send 2 more new faces into the game for Brownsburg.
Jackson Gordon's coming in, the 6'10", junior, number 42. How about the size of this Brownsburg team? With a couple transfers and just some returning players back, they have almost a college-sized roster, at least for an NAI or Division III roster size-wise.
Colton Catchings is on. Saw Colton's mom, Taja, and his aunt, Tamika, is also here. Gordon wants the dribble handoff out top to Sharp. Sharp dribbles into the 17-footer that almost banks in. Rebound by Catchings takes it away. And the possession continues for the Bulldogs. Gordon, a deep catch and fouled on the jump hook. That'll be Dillard's personal. Dillard's first and the team's second. Gordon tees it up twice for the Bulldogs. First free throw attempts in this contest for either club.
Sister Avery was an Indiana All-Star at Brownsburg, and I think he's got a great future ahead of him, only a junior. Every bit 6'10". He's one I don't doubt size-wise on the roster here as Krishan Woodward comes back into the game for Brownsburg, the transfer from North Central High School. Kind of a glue guy. He does rebounds really well. has been one of the problems so far with Brownsburg. Haven't been a strong rebounding team. Got out-rebounded by North Central in their opener. Kind of cost them that game.
Well, the unofficial rebound totals last night at Franklin Central, 31-13 in favor of the Bulldogs. There's a steal by the aforementioned Woodward, and a nice contest by Dillard to contest the shot without fouling, and the second shot block for Dillard, who had 4 in the game against Anderson earlier in the week.
Yeah, Monte is a really great pickup for him. His father got transferred from the Church of God to Anderson, Indiana, as one of the directors of the churches there. So,
corner 3 by Sharp is off the front rim, and the rebound tapped out for a run-out opportunity, but the pass too far. Good idea, but
narrow window, very small window. The idea was good, and maybe a bounce pass would have been a little bit of a better choice to make that pass, but you like the fact that he was looking down the floor. It was there, but it had to be an almost perfect pass.
That was Elijah Dixon, the intended receiver, who's also just come into the game.
I like that little football term there. I was talking about a window, and you talk about an intended receiver.
There you go.
Everyone's thinking football in the state of Indiana today. Big game in Indianapolis tonight. I forget who's playing, but pretty big game.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
9-7 our score. Gordon.
Boy, Gordon is open every time. They're going to call him for 3 seconds, I believe. Nope.
Oh, a foul away from the play.
He was close to that 3-second call.
It's Nick Solk, who's also into the contest, the 5'10 sophomore, number 11 in the black and red. That's Solk's first and the team's third.
Back pick for Addison on the block. He should get it. They defended it well.
Catching's doubled, pivots away, finds Sharp with a shovel to Gordon. Kick back out. Addison knocks in a triple.
Well, they ran the out-of-bounds play for him, so it's spot deserving that he gets the shot up because that was the out-of-bounds play meant for him. High hedge there by Gordon.
Deflection by Sharp, and it ricochets off of Gordon's head right to Addison.
Play, a very heady play by Gordon.
Catchings has 3 hits. Third 3 of the quarter for the Bulldogs, and the lead is 8.
I'm not sure this is good for the Lions. I don't think they're a team that this early in the season can come back until they get a few of their players back. Depth-wise, not as deep as they will be later on. We'll talk about that in the broadcast a little later.
Dillard, good spin on Gordon, and a nice finish off the window.
Monte Dillard Jr., his dad, the same name.
And a hand check foul at the timeline.
Got to tell you, when we opened the program at Guerin Catholic, we played Liberty Christian every year just because we were a very small school at the time and they were a small school. They have an outstanding atmosphere in their school, just a great school. Jason Chappell, their athletic director, was their former coach. And they have a gym that seats about 750, and it's always full. And I think a full gym is better than having a gym of 2,000 with only 750 people in it.
No question.
So it's a great home court advantage for them.
Addison fades, misses the shot as the quarter winds down, and the buzzer will sound. That'll do it. So Brownsburg leads this ball game 15-9. Bulldogs lead by as much as 8 in that first quarter. We'll take a pause and come right back. Quarter number 2 is around the bend next. You're watching the 2025 edition of the Sneakers for Santa Shootout. More after this on the ISC Sports Network.
We build kids up from the ground up. It's not so much about where you're at.
In most programs in Indiana, it's teams and it's games and it's teams and it's games.
They're playing in a bunch of games and not really having any type of system or structure to their routine, to their development, to their growth.
Trying to find more of a balance, more trainings, less games, skill development, basketball IQ.
Accountability. Once you walk through those doors, energy and effort's on you, the individual.
4 to 5 days a week, really trying to build a player that is prepared for going into their middle schools, going into their high schools and beyond.
You have objective criteria you have to meet to move on to the next class. That gives kids a sense of dedication to work to get towards something.
We're not here chasing rankings. We're trying to develop basketball players.
So you should not worry about getting ranked at such a young age.
We're going to push you to limits that you probably didn't know you can get to.
It's about the work ethic and less about the rankings and the notoriety. We want you to get a well-rounded basketball education.
Now back to action to start this second quarter. Brownsburg with the lead of 6, but the Bulldogs turn it over to start quarter 2, and a foul off the possession change. Colton Catchings with the foul. Rob Brown, Pete Smith with you here at Brownsburg. Happy you're spending part of your Saturday with us. Liberty Christian with the basketball in the black and red uniforms, trailing by 6. Brownsburg in the home whites, and the purple numerals leading 15-9.
Pretty fast pace in the first quarter. Both teams playing man-to-man. A few traps by Liberty Christian out of their man defense.
Jelani Dixon with 5 for Liberty Christian. Braden Addison with 5 to pace Brownsburg in that first quarter. Fading and shooting is Dixon. Offensive rebound by Dixon, no good over the outstretched reach of Gordon. Here come the Bulldogs the other way. Addison picked up his dribble and able to find Diallo. Woodward's open for a corner 3 that's short. Bulldogs hit 3 threes. Make that 5 threes. No, 3 threes in that first quarter.
A little bit of a stamina issue is a potential problem for Brownsburg playing last night. Anderson Liberty Christian had the night off. Lions have only played 1 game, as you mentioned. They were supposed to have a second game that got postponed.
Another turnover, and Woodward on the leak out will lay it in with the left hand.
Great luck.
30-second timeout. Called by Liberty Christian. We'll keep it here. Keep it here with 6:34 to go in the first half. Today's game is brought to us by Chris Shields, one of Indiana's top officials, responsible for the assignment of officials for many major events, including today's Sneakers for Santa Shootout. Want to become an ITA official? We need you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to find out how easy and rewarding it can be. Plus, your first-year license is free.
We're inside the huddle of Liberty Christian. That's Norman Anderson in his 3rd year at Liberty Christian. He's a Wabash Valley and University of Southern Indiana graduate. There he is on the left talking to his team as they leave the huddle. Done a really nice job. He's the Community Engagement Director for Liberty Christian. Overall record so far in 3 years, 51-30. And again, 3 sectionals and 2 regional titles in those 3 years, following Jason Chappell, their athletic director, who is about 3 rows behind the bench there. I saw him on that shot.
Jason Chappell, who won a state championship in 2016.
Now it's falling back to a 3-2 yo-yo zone with Chris Brandon at the top. He'll go down and cover the post. That tells you how athletic Brandon is. That's a lot of area to cover. I played that zone before, not with a 6'9" guy. I've never had a 6'9" guy.
Most coaches don't have that luxury.
No.
And Brandon gets the steal at the top of that zone. Gets it back from Sharp on the feed. Fouled is Brandon.
Nice job, though, by rewarding him. He made the steal. We ran the floor. Brandon's going to shoot a pair here. Sharp with a nice job. And, I'm going to retract what I said. I'm looking at a text I got from Steve. He said he will be back Saturday morning, won't play tomorrow, which was yesterday's text, or Thursday's text, so I apologize. Sharp should not have been a surprise, but I can't read my darn text.
There you go.
He did not play Friday. See, he has to have 5 practices in before he can play, and yesterday he practiced, but now he is eligible because you got to have 5 by the IHSA rules to play after their state championship. And what a state championship game did he have? Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. And
Brandon knocks in both free throws, and it's a 10-point lead for Brownsburg.
Staying in this 3-2. Boy, they can have a big 3-2. They've got 2 quick guards out front, though, and Addison and Sharp. That helps a lot.
And the length of the 6'6" Woodward in the corner.
Harrelson's had a couple of looks right around the basket. Hasn't been able to make all but one. Penetration foul there as Martin got to the lane and got fouled.
Martin run off the line, and Drew the foul on Diallo. Diallo's second. And another steal.
Diallo with a nice block out there on the weak side boards for Brownsburg. Missed shot.
Diallo, elbow jumper, nicks the front rim. Martin collects the rebound, attacks the other way, and throws it into row one.
You know, as I'm watching them come down, Rob, they don't have any structure in their break, so all three guys were clumped in the lane. He had no passing opening to throw to anybody. It was the right idea, except it was kind of like in football when you have two receivers in the same area. They had three guys bunched up there. It was the right idea, except not if there's three of them there, and none of them knew which one to catch it.
Sharp in the corner to Wilson, who's just in the contest. Missed the three long.
Fuller, the smallest guy on the floor with a board.
Fuller stop and go dribble, had it poked free, but a foul called as Woodward had to make the foul to knock it loose. Instead, that's Catchings, who was also there. Second foul on Catchings and the third on the team here in the quarter.
Brandon Daly checking back in for Brownsburg, number 4.
Yep. Day's back in, 6'4" junior.
They'll go to man on this out-of-bounds play instead of the 3-2. They'll stay in the man defense. Brownsburg will.
That's Joe Moore, number 24, who began the game, the quarter rather. Fourth sub off the bench. Good strong drive by Dillard in the right-hand finish.
Yeah, nice read there. It was like a party in the Red Sea. The defense stayed with the shooters. Now man-to-man press put on, almost caused a turnover, but now they got to get back on defense.
Wilson's cut off on the right block. Able to find a safety valve. Woodward finds the avenue to the goal for the two-hand flush.
Second field goal for Krishan.
Jumper is short, and Sharp up high to get the rebound. Nice find in traffic on the bounce to Woodward. 2 straight buckets by Woodward, and the lead is 12.
Well, Liberty Christian wants to get in their press and try to slow them down, but because they're not making any shots, they're getting beat in transition baskets, Rob, after missed shots. They've given up a few offensive rebounds, but Brownsburg done a better job than I saw them against North Central so far in the rebounding category.
It's an 8-2 advantage so far for the Bulldogs, and another turnover forced by the active hands of the Brownsburg defense. Woodward drives in traffic, too much traffic, and it's taken away by Jelani Dixon. Baseball ahead to Martin, who was back, and a nice scoop shot up. Martin used his body to protect the basketball from the defense, and Steve Lynch wants a 30-second timeout to talk about it.
It's the first basket by Kendrick Martin, and comes in as the leading scorer, returning scorer for the Lions. So I'm sure it's going to make Coach Chappell. Well, I'm talking about Coach Anderson happy there. As you take a look at the Brownsburg huddle, Steve Lynch, 305 and 152. He's a product of Manchester College. Coach Lynch is. I've known him since he was a high school player at his alma mater of Tippecanoe Valley High School, and coached college basketball as an assistant at Missouri State with Steve Alford. Back then it was called Southwest Missouri. Also at Ball State, and was the head coach. We had some epic games when he was the head coach at Mount Vernon. Took the Marauders to the semi-state one year when they finished number 2 in the state, and Greensburg was number 1. Vice versa, they were 1 and 2 all year in 3A. And
he's won 202 games here.
Here, yeah.
At Brownsburg.
He'd been here a while, yeah.
And year 13 here.
Had an incredible tournament run last year to win that sectional.
To be 10-12 going into the postseason, 6-9 on February 1st, and to win that sectional, beating, to navigate a sectional with Ben Davis, Avon, and Plainfield and Pike, and to come out and win that sectional. That's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, I got them playing. As a coach, you want them to play their best basketball at the tournament. They probably achieved about as much as they could win that sectional, because they probably overachieved winning that sectional.
23-13 our score. Inside 3.5 minutes to go.
Man-to-man run and jump defense. Coach Anderson trying to shake it up a little bit. Now they fall back into, fall back into a man. Trying to trap everything out front.
Day attacks baseline. Good collection dribble. Missed it too strong. Off the back of the iron, and Sulk has the rebound.
Okay, so one possession. Forced them maybe to take a quicker shot they wanted to, and they got to stop.
Dillard pulls Gordon away from the basket, but unable to find a lane to the rim. Martin splits the double team, lays it up and in, and draws the foul.
That's
So
the Kendrick
4
Martin I was
straight
expecting.
by
Excuse me.
Kendrick Martin.
Yeah, to see. That's the Kendrick Martin on the blow by there. Nice pump fake and just got to the block. Challenging a little bit bigger size guys there than maybe he'll see in their conference this year in Class Single A also. Outstanding basket. Just what they needed. The timeout worked that from that standpoint.
That's the first free throw attempt of the game for Liberty Christian. Gordon, deep catch on Dillard. Turnaround shot off the glass and in. That's a nice, patient move by Jackson Gordon.
Fundamentally sound, you bet.
Dillard strong to the goal. Gordon blocked it up top. But Mike Fox ruling there was body contact underneath. And that will put Dillard at the line for 2. Monte Dillard shoots 2. 8 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks in his inaugural game with Liberty Christian on Tuesday night in that 5-point loss to Anderson. It's the 15th foul on Brownsburg, so Bulldogs are over the limit the rest of the way. As Dillard knocks both free throws in. 6 points for Dillard. And the Brownsburg lead back to 8. Bulldogs have led by as much as 12 in this second quarter.
Like to change the defense right now. Scott Brownsburg a little sped up and not in their comfort zone right now. It's kind of a jump switch thing in a 2-3 zone. Nice pass by Gordon out.
Corner 3 by Wilson is long. Gordon and Day tapping at it. Go back to the Lions. Yeah, these last 3 offensive trips by Brownsburg, the patient jump hook by Gordon notwithstanding, Brownsburg, to your point, Pete, they've looked a little discombobulated.
They're playing a lot of guys. You know, Gordon Sharp getting in there already. Stamina's got to be a question with him. It's a different type of stamina in basketball than football.
Swung to Sulk, now Dillard.
Dillard traveled.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he got away with one earlier in the game, too. He's got kind of happy feet. Don't know if that's legal in Illinois, but it's not here in Indiana. Just joking.
Little hop step.
Yeah, just a little hop step there. But good-looking transfer for him. And, again, for all the right reasons, with his father being transferred to Anderson from Evanston, Illinois, for his position with the church there in Anderson. Good seal by Gordon.
Gordon, turn and face, jumper goes off the top and grazed the pole up, leading down from the ceiling. So that out of bounds. And Gordon will have a seat, but Gordon gave the Bulldogs a nice shift.
Oh, he sure did.
And Brandon will come back in. That's a nice duo there between Gordon and Brandon. They each give the Bulldogs a little something different.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. Two-headed monster type stuff.
And Fuller slipped out by the timeline, and the Bulldogs capitalize.
Sharp with a run-out layup.
Sharp on the layup. And a foul out top. The Bulldogs over the limit. The Lions will shoot 2 with 1:05 to go in the half. Sharp takes the foul. And the shooter will be Tywayne Fuller, still looking for his first points.
He's more of a true point guard. Now, I got to be honest with you, he didn't practice this week. I mean, he was at practice, shot free throws, but he's been having a calf issue, Coach Anderson told me. Didn't use his legs on that shot. That was the only. That would be indicative of somebody who has a calf issue. Yeah.
That free throw was all arms.
I think if this game
was about 14 and a half feet.
I think if this game gets out of hand, Rob, we may see him sit because he is hurting a little bit, but he is trying to play today.
Well, the Lions catch a break as that rebound off the missed free throw carried him to the corner. Addison went to go track it down, and as he did, Addison stepped on the baseline. So it stays at the Lions' end. Sulk is trapped in the corner, but able to get it out to Dillard. And the Lions reset inside a minute to go, first half. Martin through the lane, twist his body away from the defender and laid it in up over his right shoulder. What a shot by Kendrick Martin. My goodness.
That's the Kendrick Martin I've been expected to see because he is a big-time scorer for him. Made a great crossover at the right elbow. Got that ball away from his body so he couldn't get it stripped. And protected, as you said, Rob, to get that basket now. He missed his first free throw earlier for the old-fashioned three-point play. He gets
That
this
free
one
throw
now.
was
Yeah.
good. Boy, Martin has showed the full display here in this second quarter. 7 points in the quarter for the junior, Kendrick Martin.
How quick is
Ball
Sharp?
on the floor.
Wow, is he quick.
Nice hustle by Brandon to keep the possession alive. Addison up too tight is Sulk, and I've got Sulk for 2, and that should be 3. And the scorer agrees with me. That's 3 on Sulk. And that will send Sulk to the bench, and Elijah Dixon returns. Only the second team foul on Liberty Christian,
Right.
however,
Yeah,
so
it's just been him.
the Lions have a couple to give here in the final 30 seconds. As the half winds down, Addison not really going anywhere. Almost a 5-second count. Sharp's 3 spins out. Good rebound by Brandon. Too strong off the boards. And flying in for a putback is Wilson. And it looks like Wilson has drawn a foul. Shoot 2. That's Harrelson will take the foul. Chase Wilson shoots 2 with 14 and a 10th left in the half. And the Bulldogs up 7.
You know,
Brownsburg is led by as much as 12.
LC's hanging in there. I thought there was starting to get out of hand a little bit there late in that first quarter. I think they were up 8 in that first quarter, finished up 6 at the quarter break, and I thought it was getting out of hand, but they've hung in there. I thought the second timeout Coach Anderson called got them a little bit, got Brownsburg a little bit out of whack there offensively. Missed both free throws. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Be clock aware. They're going to go 1-4. They're trying to get everybody away from him. There's a ball screen at the top.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, and a half-court shot off the front of the rim. Didn't get anything going toward the basket. But after trailing by 12, Liberty Christian comes back and cuts the deficit to 7 by the halftime break as the Lions outscore Brownsburg. Actually, are outscored, I should say. Brownsburg outscoring the Lions 12-11 in quarter number 2. 27-20 our score. We'll head to the halftime break and be back in a moment on the other side here from Brownsburg. 27-20 our halftime score in Game 3 in the Sneakers for Santa Shootout. Back in a minute on the IS.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
We build kids up from the ground up. It's not so much about where you're at.
In most programs in Indiana, it's teams and it's games, and it's teams and it's games.
They're playing in a bunch of games and not really having any type of system or structure to their routine, to their development, to their growth.
Trying to find more of a balance, more trainings, less games, skill development, basketball IQ.
Accountability. Once you walk through those doors, energy and effort's on you, the individual.
4 to 5 days a week, really trying to build a player that is prepared for going into their middle schools, going into their high schools and beyond.
You have objective criteria you have to meet to move on to the next class. That gives kids a sense of dedication to work to get towards something.
We're not here chasing rankings. We're trying to develop basketball players.
So you should not worry about getting ranked at such a young age.
We're going to push you to limits that you probably didn't know you can get to.
It's about the work ethic and less about the rankings and the notoriety. We want you to get a well-rounded basketball education.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts,
Hardly
Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Rob Brown, Pete Smith, back with you here at
Beautiful.
Brownsburg High School. 27-20 is our score as Brownsburg leads Liberty Christian. Let's take a look at the line score.
Yep.
As Brownsburg outscored Liberty Christian 15-9 in the first quarter, leading by as much as 8. We had 3 ties, 2 lead changes in that first quarter. Liberty Christian's biggest lead was 2 at 2-0. Brownsburg led by as much as 12 in the second quarter, but Liberty Christian pulls to within 7 with a nice finish. A little bit of a defensive change to help Liberty Christian cut that gap. It was a 12-11 Brownsburg advantage in quarter 2. Pete, what did you see, kind of a general overview from what you saw there in half number 1?
Well, I think the guard size really bothered Liberty Christian at the start of the game. They were making some good penetrations and probably 2 or 3 inches taller than what they're used to shooting over. Between you have Addison in there, he's a tall guard, and the guards are a little bit smaller than Liberty Christian, but basically a slow first quarter by Kendrick Martin, and he turned it on in the second quarter, 7 points in the second to keep them close there. But just I think the size has hurt Brownsburg a little bit here, and just one and done a lot of times for Liberty Christian, and they couldn't get in their press. You just referred to the defensive change that they made, and that really gave them an opportunity to stop the bleeding a little bit, because it started to get out of hand. Now they're in striking range with a situation here. It'll be Liberty Christian's ball to start the third quarter. So a lot of positives. It's a great opportunity for them to play someone that tall and that big a school. You referred to how many students they had compared to Brownsburg.
3474 at Brownsburg versus 91 at Liberty Christian. That's a huge enrollment gap.
But it only takes 5 to play.
That's right.
It only takes 5 to play.
My team's on the floor. My team is on the floor.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and take our first break here at Brownsburg. When we come back, we'll have more here at halftime. Game 3 of 7, a great day of hoops here at Brownsburg. We'll have more in a minute after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
We build kids up from the ground up. It's not so much about where you're at.
In most programs in Indiana, it's teams and it's games, and it's teams and it's games.
They're playing in a bunch of games and not really having any type of system or structure to their routine, to their development, to their growth.
Trying to find more of a balance, more trainings, less games, skill development, basketball IQ.
Accountability. Once you walk through those doors, energy and effort's on you, the individual.
4 to 5 days a week, really trying to build a player that is prepared for going into their middle schools, going into their high schools and beyond.
You have objective criteria you have to meet to move on to the next class. That gives kids a sense of dedication to work to get towards something.
We're not here chasing rankings. We're trying to develop basketball players.
So you should not worry about getting ranked at such a young age.
We're going to push you to limits that you probably didn't know you can get to.
It's about the work ethic and less about the rankings and the notoriety. We want you to get a well-rounded basketball education.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts,
Hard with
Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Rob Brown, Pete Smith, back with you here at Brownsburg High School. We take you up to the start of the second half. Brownsburg leading Liberty Christian by the score of 27-20. These two teams have played in each of the last 2 seasons. They played last year here at Brownsburg. Brownsburg winning a couple days after Christmas, 64-43. So these two teams do have a little bit of mutual history. Earlier today, in the first 2 games of this 7-day event, Princeton beat Charlestown and a couple Southern Indiana schools, hooking up 68-54. That was a Princeton win. And just before we tagged in, Rick Johnston and Mike Broughton did a fine job bringing you the first 2 games of the day. Plainfield winning game 2, 75-65 over New Albany. Our next game, a game, Pete, that I'm really looking forward to, South Bend St. Joseph's taking on Cathedral. That'll be the game to follow. And then later on today, game number 5, Lawrence North taking on Noblesville. And then later on tonight, Louisville Male taking on Pike. And the finale tonight, Mount Vernon taking on Fishers. That's our schedule for the rest of the day. Hope you can spend as much time as possible with us today, and what is always a great event here on the western suburbs of Indianapolis here at Brownsburg.
Looks like starters back for both teams. I was trying to see if Sharp was going to start, but he's not. So we're back to the original starters here. Fuller, Martin, Dixon, Harrelson, and Dillard Jr. for the Liberty Christian Lions. Addison, Day, Diallo, Woodward, and Brandon for the Bulldogs.
Liberty Christian with the basketball. Each team running offensively toward its respective bench. Lions trailing by 7. Harrelson a long 3, around and out. But Dillard with an offensive rebound to collect and finish.
He's got 8 now, Monte Dillard Jr.
Addison down the lane with the finish, and the contest by Dillard proved to be problematic. Last touch by Brandon, and it'll go back to the Lions. Boy, Pete, you hear coaches talk all the time about a score, a stop, and a score.
Yeah.
And that will flip a game.
Get you right back in it. You're right, Rob. Get you right back in it. Brownsburg stays in 2-3. They played 2-3 the entire game so far. Haven't really pressed much. Haven't had the need to, actually.
And Martin gets the errant pass. Settles back into it. Dillard facing up.
Well, he hops a lot. Yeah, that's something he's got to work on. He's got a little bad habit of taking a little hop before he hands the ball off there. Kendrick Martin, 6'2 junior, has 7 points for him. That was going to be a pick and roll, I think, on that left side for him until the turnover negated the opportunity.
27-22. 1 minute into the second half. Brandon. Swung to Woodward for a right side three. That's good. Krishan Woodward, his first three of the game.
He's got 9 now.
Dillard with a nice, patient spin through the double. And Monte Dillard Jr., the first player for either team into double figures. He has 10.
Good patience by Brownsburg. Not really in anything right now, but yet also not just trying to drive it and whale it at the basket. Flail it and whale it.
Addison calls out a set out front. Defender fell down. Woodward tees up another out front.
Good rebound there by Harrelson.
Harrelson on the clear. Now Dillard on the run. Settles and collected. Missed the shot. And Martin lost the handle off the inline. Dillard may have taken off too far from the rim on that one.
That was a missed opportunity there. 3-on-1, basically 3-on-1.5, and with your big guy trailing and having the opportunity to get a layup there, that's a tough loss here. That could have cut it to 4 with a basket. Tough loss of a possession. Full court pressure now put on by the Lions. Just token. Faked it more than they did actually put it on here. Chase Wilson back in for Brownsburg. He's at the top of the key, guarded by Harrelson.
Addison thought about it from behind the line. Now corkscrews into the lane, back out to Wilson for an open three. That's good.
Got a pair of threes now. Chase Wilson has 6. Good dribble drive and spot out at the top of the key there for the junior Chase Wilson.
Well, you mentioned that previous possession, Pete. The fast break opportunity not capitalized on by the Lions, and the 3 by Wilson. That's a 5-point switch. And then it's steal by Brandon.
There's not a lot of movement by the Lions on the half court.
Diallo, tough bounce pass down the baseline. Day down the lane, and a collision in the lane. Harrelson slid in and will be charged for the block.
Just a little late. The right idea, but he's a little late. By the time he was sliding under, he was already in the air. That being Brandon Day was already in the air. The 6'4" junior will shoot a pair of free throws here. I've mentioned the depth situation. Marcus Boyd, 6'7". He'll be eligible with 6 games left in the season for Liberty Christian. He's a transfer out of Ben Davis. Javian Murphy, who played at Crosstown Anderson, he'll be eligible along with Marmar Larry, a guard. Hopefully they'll be available on January 9th is what the plan is. Right now, neither with the team, but they'll start the second semester with them.
So it was a 6-point game, and now it's back to 11 as Diallo gets a block. Day on the run out. Too strong on the flip, but Brandon's there to clean it up and put it in. And just like that, Brownsburg has its biggest lead of 13.
Yeah, I think the depth's starting to hurt the Lions a little bit. Just not bringing anything off the bench to give them much. And meanwhile, Brownsburg just keeps throwing guys in off the bench that seem fresh and are ready to go. We do have a sub here as Jelani Dixon takes a seat.
And Demarion Kelly is back in. Kelly in the corner, threw it away.
Okay.
That'll be a backcourt violation, and 3 turnovers in 5 possessions for the Lions. And Brownsburg sitting on a 13-point lead.
Nice job by Fuller.
Steal by Fuller to lay it in. And that stops a 7-0 run by Brownsburg, and a basket desperately needed by Liberty Christian. Norman Anderson calls a timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, quick timeout called. You see the Brownsburg huddle. I'm sure Coach Lynch isn't thrilled about the lack of communication there on that out-of-bounds play. That shouldn't happen when you got a veteran guard like Brandon Addison.
Well, Brady Laurie has been serving the citizens of Marion, Johnson, and surrounding counties for over 25 years. If you or someone you know is in criminal trouble or has been injured, make the call to Brady for a consultation. Let Brady put his negotiating skills and courtroom experience to work for you. Call 317-250-7783 or email bradyjlaurie@gmail.com. Brady Laurie, your criminal defense and personal injury trial lawyer.
A couple of veteran assistants there on the bench. Coach Haney and Jeff Poisel, former outstanding player at Ben Davis, hit the shot around the world one year, one of their state titles. Okay, timeout was called. Now we've got it's going to be a trapping 1-2-2 zone. Causes a steal. Fuller with a steal.
2 straight steals by Fuller. Martin gets it. Good cut by Martin to give Kelly an outlet from that trap, and Martin smartly draws a foul and an opportunity for 2 at the line.
Yeah, Chris Brandon on the foul. Kind of bailed him out.
First on Brandon, first on the Bulldogs here in the period.
Again, Martin had 7 points in that second quarter. He's now 3 of 4 at the line with 1 more opportunity. He needs to pick up his offense a little bit. He's expected to score for this Lion team. He's a veteran guard, big-time scorer, and now he's got 8. Dillard leads him with 10.
Martin played in that Futures game last year, which is a place for freshmen and sophomores that are kind of in the pipeline potentially to be all-stars. Martin splits the pair. It's a 10-point game, 37-27. Long 3 by Diallo is good. And 3-pointers coming aplenty here in this third quarter. The third 3 in the period for the Bulldogs, 6 in the game.
Diallo's first basket.
Back to a 10-point game, or 13-point game, excuse me.
10 Bulldogs have scored, to make that reference on how deep they are now. Wow. I've got 10 of them in the scoring column.
Long 3 by Martin. That's good. Just the second 3 of the game for Liberty Christian. That makes it a 10-point game.
Yeah, straight 2-3 zone. Kind of a matchup 2-3.
Liberty Christian hit 7 threes on Tuesday night against Anderson. Just 2 so far here this afternoon. Diallo. And a kick out to Addison for 3.
Great possession. Coach Lynch has to be happy about that one. Great possession. A lot of reversals, got the wide open 3.
Addison's second 3 and the 4th Brownsburg 3 of the quarter.
He traveled again, yeah.
Dillard travels on the pivot at the top of the circle. Turnovers really undoing Liberty Christian in this quarter.
Well, the only good thing about a turnover like that, Rob, is a dead ball turnover. Yep. So you're not having to sprint back in transition, so you can get your defense set. They played a pretty good half-court defense. Brownsburg did a pretty good job that time, though, being patient, made about the extra pass, made 4 or 5 passes, and got a wide open 3, which they drained. Full court man-to-man pressure. Now they're going to leave the zone. Coach Anderson trying to find anything he can to get these Lions to get a few stops.
Martin stuck a hand in trying to tie up Diallo.
Good job of sportsmanship there. Just an incidental slap. Martin telling Diallo I wasn't trying to do anything personal.
Second foul on Martin. Second on the Lions here in the quarter. Woodward and Ketchings return for Brownsburg, as does Gordon. 2.5 to go, third quarter. 16-10 advantage for Brownsburg. Woodward drives off the window and in.
Wow.
And a foul. Oh my.
It was
wasted no time in getting involved in the action. He barely wiped the dust off his shoes.
Well,
drew the foul on Martin.
I know the out-of-bounds play they ran, it was supposed to be a seal to get the ball to Jackson Gordon inside on a mismatch, but Woodward just took it on himself to take it to the basket, and it paid off this time with a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
6 in the quarter, 12 in the game for Woodward to lead all scorers, and the lead is 16 for the team in the home whites. 46-30. Dillard, dribble handoff to Martin. Back to Dillard. ISO'd against Gordon. Dillard spinning. Gordon up to the challenge. Gordon blocks 2 shots on the possession and clears the rebound ahead to Catchings.
Armor straight up. Nice job there by Gordon defensively. Didn't need to jump. There's the look to Gordon.
Gordon on the seal. That's all Gordon from one end to the other.
Reward the big man, Rob. Reward the big man. If you do it on defense, get it back to him if you can. And they saw the mismatch there.
6 for Jackson Gordon off the bench. And the lead is 18. Martin fades in the lane, too strong.
Shooting over the 6'5", Krishan Woodward, a little bit tougher shot than normal.
Addison stop and go. Tried to kick in the corner to Catchings. And the pass off the mark out of bounds. Day steps back into the action for Brownsburg. 1:24 left. Here in the third.
Pace of play is really slowed down, and talking to Coach Anderson, they like to be aggressive all 84 feet, but right now I think with just attrition of playing this Bulldog team has had 10 guys scores, wearing them down a little bit.
Dillard tries a 3, no good. Good box by Sharp. Sharp speeds into the forecourt. Now Day tied up in the lane. Martin got 2 hands in to wrap up the basketball, but the arrow favors Brownsburg and will stay at this end.
Did you see the 99-yard kickoff return by Sharp
I did.
in the state tournament game?
I did.
What a game.
Brandon
what a
Sharp
blur.
in the 6A state championship game a week ago tonight. 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown as Woodward draws the foul. Had 4 catches for 151 yards, including a 63-yard touchdown catch and run. That's quite a day.
Yeah, and
The
only a junior.
Yep,
Yeah.
the junior has plenty of Power 4 schools are interested in his services.
Well, what I appreciate about him is he's a multi-sport athlete, and that is becoming a dying breed nowadays. I can't say enough and encourage players enough. You only get one chance at high school. Colleges will take you if you're good enough. You don't have to concentrate in most situations. I'm not saying every situation is that way, but when you're that talented on the field, on the court, boy, do what you can until it's time you have to pick. And I'm glad to see Coach Hart, Coach Lynch get along well enough that they can share him here at Brownsburg.
Well, that was the 4th foul on Kendrick Martin, so that is not a good scenario for Liberty Christian. Martin heads to the bench. Woodward splits the pair.
Nice take there by Monte Dillard Jr. here. He's got 12 now.
A 17-point lead as we're inside 30 seconds to go in the third. Gordon wants it in deep. Turnaround jump hook is up and in. 8 for Jackson Gordon.
Yeah, love his fundamentally sound play. Great steal there by Sharp.
Sharp hit on the way up.
Fuller got him.
And 2 shots for Brandon Sharp with 8 seconds even to go in the third quarter. Fouls on Fuller.
Just has slipped away here in this third quarter. Brownsburg came out, hit a bunch of threes, as you made reference to, and Liberty Christian just not be able to match them scoring-wise, and to make things worse, their leading scorer on the season, Kendrick Martin, on the bench now with 4 fouls.
24-point quarter for Brownsburg.
Whew.
One more for Sharp. That's short. Dillard lost the rebound, but Fuller ran it down. Still time.
Oh.
Fuller into the forecourt. Missed the shot. And that'll do it. So it takes 24-12. Brownsburg advantage in the period. It's a 19-point game-high lead for the Bulldogs as we head to the final 8 minutes. Stay tuned. We'll have it on the other side as you're watching the 2025 edition of the Sneakers for Santa Shootout right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Rob Brown, Pete Smith back with you. Final quarter here at Brownsburg for game number 3 of 7 here at Brownsburg High School. Brownsburg leading Liberty Christian 51-32, make it 51-35. As Nick Salk hits a three-pointer from the left wing for his first points. Krishan Woodward leads the Bulldogs with 13. Monte Dillard Jr. with 12 to pace Liberty Christian. Addison hits the fadeaway jumper, becoming the second Bulldog to get into double figures, 10 for Addison. Pete, that was a 24-point third quarter for Brownsburg.
Yeah, that's pretty big this early in the season to have your offense clicking like that.
Catchings takes the foul. That's 3 on Catchings, first on Brownsburg. Dillard, nowhere to go. Martin playing with 4 fouls. Shots blocked by Brandon, but a foul called.
And no argument by him. Good penetration by Martin. He's playing with 4. So let's see what happens here, how long he can stay in the game. But any kind of offensive comeback and charge they're going to have, a lot of it's going to be generated by Kendrick Martin.
Martin shoots 2. Martin 2 for 4 from the line today. First one is good.
Wayne Fuller checks back in, placing Jordan Harrelson, so a really small group out there other than Dillard. Martin, the next tallest, at 6'2" for Liberty Christian, as he makes both.
13 for Martin. Martin averaged 15 and a half last year. At 15 in the game in the opener Tuesday night at Anderson.
Small guys in because they're going to run and jump out of that man defense when they make that first or second pass. Okay, they're coming with the center guy this time, which leaves Addison open.
Brandon out of the double. Addison missed the flip off the window, but drew the foul on Dillard. Might have gotten fouled by Elijah Dixon on the way to the rim.
I was thinking the same thing. The foul should have been on the floor on the drive,
yeah,
but they didn't call that one, so they got him on that one. So
second foul on Dillard.
Been a well-officiated game, though.
Very crisp. Addison shoots 2. First one up and in. Again, our next game will be South Bend St. Joseph's, who played its first game last night. Lost at Chesterton by 18.
Yeah, that score surprised me a little bit.
A little bit.
I talked to Coach Gaff in the middle of the week, and he said, we got a big one first. We got to play Chesterton first, and Chesterton always well coached by Mark Urban.
Yes. Addison knocks them both, and South Bend St. Joseph's, the defending 3A champion, who will not have a chance to defend that title, as the Huskies being success factored up to 4A the next 2 years. He'll take on 3A number 1 Cathedral, as Salk has it knocked out of bounds, dribbles it off his foot.
Not a fun task moving up. I had that happen to me when we had a couple good years at Guerin Catholic, where we moved up from 3A to 4A, and it's a step up. I mean, we lost on a buzzer beater one year in the sectional in the 4A, and we got beat by a decent Fishers team by 10 the other year in the sectional. But it's a step up from 3A, no doubt about it. Not saying 3A teams aren't good, but night in and night out, those 4As, a little bit tougher.
Different animal. So South Bend St. Joseph's and Cathedral, our next game, as Brandon drew the foul as smaller defender Elijah Dixon giving up a foot in that matchup. Had to give the foul.
His fourth personal foul. Second team foul of the Lions. Chris Brandon shooting 2.
Actually, number 11 is Camaris Allen. Excuse me. Number 11 is. That's.
I'm sorry, who's number 11 for what team?
They said Camaris Allen is number 11, not number. We've had 11 as Salk, but number 11 is Camaris Allen.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I got to tell you, he didn't even put when I talked. Oh, yep, he did. He had the wrong number, though. He gave him 21.
Yep.
Yeah, when he gave me the information, I apologize because I gave you the information that the coach had given me.
So we've been saying Salk the whole time. It's Camaris Allen is number 11. Timeout, Liberty Christian. It's a 30-second timeout. Make it a full timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Well, Unranked Hoops is partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indy's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy inside the walls of the newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis. Unranked will provide opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Check out unranked.com for more information and sign up to their email list for updates. That's unrnkd.com.
I get flashbacks looking into that Liberty Christian huddle like the opportunity to. When I was coaching in the 90s, Anderson had 3 teams ranked in the top 10 in the state before class sports even. That being Anderson Madison Heights, Anderson Highland, and Anderson High. And now they have 3 high schools, Anderson Prep, Liberty Christian, and Anderson High, but a much different complexion of that city athletically. This Liberty Christian team, though, has a lot of good players. Just a little bit undersized and a tough day for them today against Brownsburg as they miss a shot. And then Kojak Fuller's nephew played for some of those great Anderson teams. Tywan Fuller picks up the foul, his 3rd foul. Also, we mentioned Demarion Kelly. His Uncle Daniel was a really good player for the Indians in his day.
That foul went to Fuller. That's Fuller's 3rd.
Okay.
Inside 6 minutes to go.
There's the trap.
Almost
hot
taken
potato,
away.
hot potato, hot potato.
Diallo can't get it, and it's out of bounds. So,
well, it took them a while. It took about 6 seconds to cause that turnover.
They got it, though.
They got it. Down 19 with 5.5 to go. Going some offense, defense here. They get on offense. They like Harrelson to be in the game. Jordan Harrelson, 6'5" senior.
Dillard backing. Missed the shot strong, and Diallo's got the rebound.
Just no second shots for Liberty Christian today. Other than the first 2 minutes of the game,
right.
They have not had hardly any second chance opportunities.
Gordon cross court.
Like the discipline in Gordon.
Gordon's jump hook spins off. Sharp elbow jumper, got it.
Well, that's just on 5 days of practice after a full season on the football field. Braden Sharp with the 2nd field goal.
Well, full timeout called by Liberty Christian. We'll go ahead and take a break. 4:43 to go. 58-39 our score. We'll step out and come right back on ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Rob Brown, Pete Smith back with you here at Brownsburg High School. 58-39 our score. Brownsburg is led by as much as 20 in this game. The lead is 19. 4.5 to go.
It was Noah Dearman that took
Noah
that
Dearman,
jump shot.
Yep, is in the game. Another football player.
Back from the football team also, as you'd mentioned. So I've got 11 have played, 10 have scored for Brownsburg. That last time Liberty Christian was a 1-2-1-1 full court press. So they've got a lot of different defenses I've seen Coach Norman Anderson use today. None have been too successful. Going to throw it into
hands of Martin, knock it away.
I love this play because that's a face up and right into Gordon, because he's just got him so posted up. He's got a deep post up. And on these side out of bounds plays, Gordon has not got the ball like he's supposed to. There he did that time. And there he scored.
That jump hook is more than reliable by Gordon, who has 10 off the bench.
Well, the difference in his jump hook, he's a space eater. He's not a 6'10" beanpole. He got good space. His footwork's gotten better. He's great around the basket. And he doesn't even start for him. They start Brandon, the 6'9" senior.
Gordon becomes the third Bulldog to hit double figures. And Gordon, another drop step.
Yeah, he got fouled, yeah.
Fouled on that shot. Couldn't get it to drop, but Gordon will shoot two.
Does not quite seem to look like the same team that North Central beat last week. This Brownsburg team has made big strides in just a week since their loss to the 2-0 Panthers. Again, offense, defense changes for the Lions.
Camarius Allen with 4 fouls checks back in, as does Jordan Harrelson. 4:02 left. Gordon splits the pair, loose on the deck, and a tie-up. Timeout called by Brownsburg.
Their second they've called.
Liberty Christian has just one timeout remaining.
Coach Anderson's tried to do everything he can with the timeouts to stop some momentum breaks, and it does it temporarily most of the time, but this Brownsburg team has played very well today, Rob Brown.
A great, a small but mighty crew working with us today. Jordan Shue and Charlie Hammock working alongside us.
Well, they're not really beside us.
Well, they're in our general vicinity. Yeah.
But
they're helping us bring you all the sights and sounds here at Brownsburg. And we're glad they're here. And we're glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yep. Brownsburg ball after the tie-up.
Dive to the basket. There's the dive.
Wilson lost it in the lane. Out of the triple team, Wilson able to finish over the outstretched hands of Dillard. Wilson with 8 off the bench. 63-39 as Brownsburg pulling away. Diallo fumbling it off the end line, stepped out.
This Brownsburg team next week has a home game against Lebanon's Tigers. They have a new head coach at Lebanon. And then they go up next Friday, a week from yesterday, on December 12th. They'll play Tippecanoe Valley, a 3A school that's where Steve Lynch started his coaching and playing career, not really coaching, but playing career as a backup guard most of his career, a little bit as a senior, played a lot for Coach Bob Dubois and the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings. So very nice. They're going to go up to his hometown and play. And the hometown, what two schools make up Tippecanoe Valley?
Oh, you're throwing me some geographic knowledge that I don't possess, my friend. That's your stomping grounds. You're gonna have to give the viewers that.
The Mentone Bulldogs.
Okay.
And the Akron Flyers consolidated after the 1974 season to make up Tippecanoe Valley. Also, a former school, Beaver Dam, goes to that school, but they had already closed and gone to Mentone/Akron before that.
So Martin splits the pair, has 14. More subs heading toward the table for the Bulldogs. Liberty Christian will be back in action on Tuesday night, playing its first home game against Muncie Burris. Wilson, defender, fell down. Wilson short-armed the 8-footer.
Yeah, he kind of leaned back after he made his pump fake. He lost his bounce a little bit, so it was didn't quite have his bounce to explode up there, and like you said, short-armed it. Coach Lynch cleaning the bench.
Braden Greathouse and Jerron Boone step in. Greathouse, another member of that football team.
Both sophomores.
Yep. Martin fades on the right side, short with the 17-footer. Here comes Sharp in the lane. Pass is too high for Gordon. Harrelson might have gotten hit in the face. Is laying on the deck. Dillard jumps over Harrelson to block the shot. And now the play is whistled to a stop for safety reasons, as Harrelson was lying underneath the rim. And that's a nice job of sportsmanship by Steve Lynch to call a timeout, because something
could have happened.
Potentially dangerous could have happened with that scramble under the bucket. And Harrelson lying defenseless under the rim.
Let's take a look at Liberty Christian, what they've got ahead next week. They'll host Muncie Burris, the Owls, on the 9th of December. And then they will play a weekend game against University, one of their conference rivals, a big conference rival, and the defending 2A state runners-up, the Blazers. Take them on next Friday. So a busy week for them also as they return back home for a pair of games.
Well, you mentioned Liberty Christian playing a challenging schedule to get itself ready for the 1A tournament. This is one of 8 games, one of 7 games that Liberty Christian will play against either 4A or 3A schools. They've got games scheduled. They've already played 4A Anderson. They've got games scheduled later in the season against 4A Evansville Harrison, Pendleton Heights, and Lawrence Central. And then they'll play 3A Cathedral and 3A. Oh, behind the back pass to Dillard, tried to dunk it on Boone, or on Dearman rather, and drew the foul. My goodness. That play had all sorts of sauce on it. Allen went behind the back to Dillard. My goodness. Let's take another look. Woo! Dillard wanted to put Dearman on a poster.
He was going to posterize him, but and not a bad foul. I mean, just
no.
I had nowhere to go, so I held my ground and fouled him.
Dillard knocks both free throws in, sharing team high scoring honors with Martin, each with 14, and a blocking foul called on Allen, and that is the 5th foul on Camarius Allen. 5th foul on the Lions. So to finish my point, the Lions will play 5 4A programs before they hit the postseason, and 2 3A programs in Attucks and Cathedral. That's roughly 40% of their schedule. 7 games, excuse me. About 35%. First free throw by Sharp is short.
Yeah, you hope you can win a few. I mean, that would be helpful if you can. And they've got a good roster. And as I mentioned, they got 3 guys that are scheduled to be back, 2 of them at the start of the second semester, and then Antoine Boyd, the transfer from Ben Davis. He'll have 6 games left in the season. Ben Davis contested the transfer there.
Liberty Christian calls its final timeout. We'll keep it here with 2:09 to go. Again, our next game, Cathedral and South Bend St. Joseph's. St. Joseph, singular. You spent some time up in the South Bend area, Pete, back in your day, coaching at Penn.
Know that school very well. Yeah, South Bend St. Joseph has a brand new high school. They moved on the east side of US 31.
How long ago was that?
Boy, if there's a St. Joe person listening or South Bend person, I'm going to risk being wrong, but my guess would have been about maybe 6 years ago. The old school now, the Notre Dame owns the property now, and they moved to the east side, and beautiful campus, beautiful school. Changed their nickname. Boy, when I was growing up, they were the Indians, and
yes,
they were always called the Tribe, and that was the days of Tom Abernathy and John Leskowski and
certainly
Bob Donewald coaching days. And now they've changed to the Huskies and have a new branding, and they're doing just fine. Defending state 3A champions that don't get a chance to defend because they move up to 4A with the success factor.
Dillard with a nice move, missed it with the left hand. Yeah, they've got all sorts of athletic programs flourishing. Football team just went to the semi-state in 4A.
Well, very similar to what I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, how Anderson had 3 dominant teams in high school basketball in the 80s and 90s in Madison Heights, Highland, and Anderson High School. South Bend, their public schools have closed. I mean, the days of South Bend LaSalle and South Bend Washington and Riley and Clay and Adams.
Yeah.
And another one that people forget about, you know, St. Joe has always been that Catholic influence, but South Bend also had another high school, South Bend Jackson, that did really well for about 6 years and then became a middle school to Riley. And now, as I mentioned, LaSalle's closed, Clay is closed, Washington is a 3A school. Adams and Riley, the only 2A schools in the city
LaSalle's
now.
closed, right?
I'm sorry?
Is LaSalle still open?
Oh, no, LaSalle was the first one to get closed. Yeah. George Griffith days. Boy, did he have some great teams there.
Dillard splits the pair. 64-42.
Dillard's got a good stroke from the line. That's his first miss in 6 attempts.
5 out of 6. Monte Dillard Jr. Loose ball flies into the Brownsburg bench. He'll stay with the Bulldogs.
So you take positives out of this for Liberty Christian. You have played some really good teams. You're not going to see them night in and night out in their tournament trail later on in the year. But as you mentioned, to play that many 7 3A or 4A schools, they've got to play better than they did today. And again, hopefully those missing players will help them if they get them back, if they earn the right to be on the team again. But you know, that also can bury you sometimes. Just depends how your kids take it.
Inside 100 seconds to go in this one. Brownsburg is led by as much as 24. Boone shovels in the lane. Dearman tried to bounce it in traffic to Gordon. Touched by the Lions last. Stay at the Brownsburg end. We're in one of the high corners in this gym. We see Cathedral in the home whites. Just down below us, getting ready to take the floor. South Bend St. Joseph's will be
nice
the road
play.
team. Nice cut by Gordon off the inbound.
Great back pick by Chase there, Chase Wilson.
And Gordon has 13 off the bench to tie Krishan Woodward for team high scoring honors. Stolen away in
nice
traffic. Taken away and laid in by Kelly for his first 2.
And that's the way his uncle Daniel played. Great defensive player Daniel Kelly was for the Indians of Anderson. Whoop.
Knocked out of bounds and turnover. Actually not touched, I should say, by the defense.
Pair of football players not in the basketball communication part yet.
Nick Salk is in the game wearing number 21.
We traveled again.
Dillard travels in the post.
That's 4 travels I have him being called for.
Yes. Likewise, yep.
A couple other times I thought he was awfully close. But boy, very talented kid. Gordon with a missed
Gordon
dunk.
tried to throw it down and couldn't get it to go. In the scramble, Catchings comes away with it and lays it in. 68-44, final 20 seconds. Greathouse has it blocked away. Throw ahead to Dillard. Lays it in after the horn. That will not count. And that will do it. Well, today's game goes final, and our final score is Brownsburg 68 and Liberty Christian
44. 46. They had 44, and I didn't think
they actually did count
that
that basket. They actually did count that basket. So 68, 46. Our final. Today's game is brought to us by Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Log on to IndianaWorkers.com. And by Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy. Check out Unranked.com. Well, Pete, some final thoughts on this first game for us, game number 3 of 7 today.
Well, the first minutes and basically the first half of the game, Brownsburg played very solid. So did Liberty Christian. One shot and done a lot for the Lions. The second half of that third quarter particularly, Brownsburg just came out and dominated the game athletically. 10 scored, and that was midway through the third quarter. They already had 10 guys in the scorebook, but the depth really paid off.
Well, that'll about do it here from Brownsburg. We'll have the next game in about 10 minutes. It'll be South Bend St. Joseph's and Cathedral. Brownsburg improves to 3-1. Liberty Christian drops to 0-2. Liberty Christian led by Monte Dillard Jr. with 17 points. Jackson Gordon and Krishan Woodward lead Brownsburg with 13 apiece. I'm Rob Brown. This has been a presentation of the ISC Sports Network. Brownsburg wins 68-46. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we'll be back with you in 10 minutes for the next game, South Bend St. Joseph and Cathedral. But for now, thank you so much for watching. So long.
we build kids up